Good evening, televiewers of My Major Prime. You're welcome to the Monday edition of Prime News on My Major Prime, live and direct from the country's economic capital, Douala. My name is Gienda Peldrin Blanche King. We begin the news this evening still on a sad note from what happened on Saturday in Kmer Division, southwest region of the country. Human rights a group of individuals and other bodies have condemned the killing of school children. The children were killed on Saturday, 24 October 2020 by unidentified armed individuals. This is one of the many cases of killings happening in the restive northwest and southwest regions since the escalation of the Anglophone crisis. Details in the following report with our reporter Bokengo Kmer.
Infanticide of Saturday, October 24, 2020 in Kumba, Kmer division of the southwest region of Cameroon, has caused severe unrest and panic throughout the country.
The secondary school has just been attacked by the terrorist secessionists, and about 6 students have been shot, some dead already, some under critical conditions in hospital here. And the administration condemned this with strong terms, condemned the act of these terrorists in Kumba today.
These gruesome acts of barbarism have greatly been condemned by ministers, honorables, chiefs, amongst others, in their different social media platforms. The Minister of Communication also condemned these killings publicly in a press briefing.
The government of the Republic, shocked and deeply outraged, condemns in the strongest terms the acts carried out by the perpetrators of these odious, cowards, and abominable acts against innocent young people. The government is of the opinion that no cause in the world can justify or legitimize such systematic attacks on the life of human beings, not to talk of the lives of innocent children, pupils, or students who should attend school, college, high school, university, be educated and be able to look after themselves and be able to conveniently take over from their elders tomorrow.
Adding her voice to decry this gruesome and inhumane act is the national president of CPP political party, Madam Edith Kawala.
There's nothing in any society as sacred as children. The idea that children should become the purposeful target, that is, we know that children can be killed accidentally in a war. We know that it can happen, that there is an attack and children are killed, and we decry this. But the idea that people would sit at home and plan to go and kill children is it's inconceivable.
Worthy of note is the fact that the Prime Minister, head of government, Mr. Joseph Diongute, had a crisis meeting in the Star Building same day to address and review security measures in the town of Kumba, most especially ensuring students and people's safety in school. He also dispatched an interministerial delegation to present the condolences of the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya, to the community as well as the bereaved families.
The international community, in the likes of the European Union, the United Nations and the African Unions, have equally condemned this gruesome act and targeting children and youths or women in the restive region. They call for a global or general ceasefire and genuine talks between the warring parties. Details in the following report. There are no words for the grief nor condemnation strong enough to express my horror at the brutal attack which targeted primary school children while they were sitting learning in their classroom. The words of Musa Faki Mahamat, President of the African Union. He reacted on Twitter shortly after the murder of over 7 kids in Kumba on the 24th of October 2020. The European Union delegation in Cameroon says It is a violation of international human rights and humanitarian law protecting civilian populations. Hence, the perpetrators of these acts will have to face justice. French ambassador to Cameroon on its part, Christophe Guillou, said the perpetrators will have to be brought to justice and condemned. The United Nations referred to the attack as the worst atrocity since school resumption in Cameroon 2 weeks ago. The Center of Human Rights and Democracy in Africa, through its president Anglophone Bala, affirms that the act violates children's rights and is gross violation of the right to life of these kids. Individuals, bodies and organizations have condemned the act and all forms of rights violation in Cameroon recently. The northwest and southwest regions of the country have been struggling with a socio-political crisis for over 4 years. What started as a peaceful manifestation to decry Anglophone marginalization turned sour in 2017 with killings, kidnaps, looting and extortion. The attack on students of St. Francisca International Bilingual Academy Fiango Kumba is one of the many atrocities perpetrated by armed individuals in the restive regions of the country. The general call on the lips of all Cameroonians is peace and an end to the killings. Investigations are ongoing to apprehend the perpetrators of the acts.
We are crying for them. Where are they? Oh, we are crying for them.
Away from the unfortunate incident on Saturday, October 24, we talk something else. 3 men have suspected of setting ablaze 2 transport buses belonging to Russian International School in Douala have been arrested. The men allegedly threatened school authorities, demanding the sum of 6 million francs CFA, without which they will commit worse atrocities, as our reporter Nora Kakebi tells us in the following report.
Over the weekend, the Russian International School, situated at Makepe in the economic capital, Douala, witnessed a horrific attack on their property. Some armed men have been apprehended by the law enforcement officers for burning down 2 of the school's transport buses. The thieves, Foy Ambassa, 38, Belinga Otto, 38, and Takang Elvis, 37, are said to have been calling on the authorities of the Russian International School, asking for a sum of 6 million CFA francs, threatening that if the money was not given them, they will attack the school, kidnap pupils, and equally burn down their buses, which they finally succeeded in burning, but unfortunately for them, they were apprehended.
De menaces, en demandant des rançons. Vous avez demandé à l'école russe 6 millions. Et vous avez dit si les 6 millions n'étaient pas versés, vous devez procéder aux enlèvements des enfants. Vous deviez brûler le matériel roulant. Vous êtes allé jusqu'à mettre en exécution votre menace en mettant le feu sur 2 véhicules hier, avant-hier. Là où la goutte d'eau a dépassé le vase, nous avons décidé de mettre un terme à votre... Alors qu'est-ce que vous en dites?
C'est comment on peut dire ce que les faits fait.
C'est
les faits fait. On récolte pour ce qu'on a semé. Ce qu'on peut dire. On peut rien dire.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a joué?
Non, bon, son rôle c'est que bon, c'est lui qui appelle, c'est lui qui rejette les lettres.
Pardon?
C'est lui qui appelle, c'est lui qui rejette les lettres.
According to one of the school authorities, these hoodlums have been calling the school since the 14th, threatening to destabilize the school if the authorities did not comply with their demands.
We received a phone call from people who threatened that they were paid to destabilize the school and that we needed to give them 6 million if we wanted the school not to be burnt down. They said they were paid to destabilize a number of schools in the area. And on the same night, on the night of the 14th to the 15th, I received a call from our founder saying that our bus was on fire. So on the same day, we called the police and they told us to keep calm and they told us how to proceed. And we received a phone call yesterday that the people were under custody.
The armed men, on the instruction of the police officers, demonstrated how they got into the school and poured fuel on the buses and set them ablaze. They are presently under police custody, gnashing their teeth while awaiting trial.
Some 31 Cameroonians trafficked to Lebanon have been rescued by Survivors Network and anti-human trafficking organization. They touched down at the Douala International Airport on Friday. Lasha Kingsley tells us more in the following report.
The 31 young female Cameroonians trafficked to Lebanon were rescued by Survivors Network, an anti-human trafficking organization based in Kumba, southwest region of Cameroon. Eunice Gwe is the public relations officer for Survivors Network.
Today, Survivors Network is at the Douala International Airport to receive some ladies who were trafficked to Lebanon. They are working in partnership with anti-racism movement in Lebanon and human rights in Boya. So they have come together in order to bring back those ladies who were trafficked.
Meanwhile, the NGO will later call to empower these retainees with a startup capital of 1 million francs CFA to set up any business of their choice.
So immediately these girls will have access to these girls. We will give them face masks, hand sanitizers, as well as transport fare for them to take back home to their families. Before later on we can bring them again together for economic empowerment in order to make them self-reliant in their societies and in their various communities.
Each of the retainees received 20,000 francs as transport fare to assist them regain their towns of origin.
Nous sommes allés en aventure au Liban pour pouvoir aller nous battre, quoi, se chercher pour notre famille et tout. Bon, arrivé dans les lieux, on s'est battu, mais ça n'a pas donné. Les choses se sont empirées, ça n'a pas été bon pour nous, Yannick. Nous, on a trouvé mieux de demander de l'aide pour pouvoir entrer. Et pour ça, je veux remercier à toute l'équipe, toutes les âmes de bonne volonté et plus précisément aux ONG.
Since 2014, the NGO has rescued over 200 young women trafficked to different parts of the world.
Some ex-students of the National School of Administration and Magistracy, ENAM, met in Douala recently for their second Ordinary General Assembly. The meeting, which took place over the weekend, focused on the consolidation of the 2019 resolutions, amongst other subjects. Dolingonde was present at the General Assembly and compared the following.
Seated in their capacities, they include magistrates, court registrars, members of the finance department, custom officers and administrators from the 2005/2007 promotion batch of the National School of Administration and Magistracy ENAM. Focus on the agenda is to consolidate the resolutions of their first General Assembly after its adoption in 2019 while talking the way forward.
L'objectif pour cette promotion, qui comporte toutes les sections confondues qui sont entrées à l'ENAM en janvier 2005, c'est de promouvoir la solidarité entre ses membres, de promouvoir le développement économique, apporter notre modeste contribution au développement de ce pays.
From the reading and adoption of the 2019 agenda to the presentation of executive activities by the bureaucratic head, then the adoption of statutory texts, followed by the establishment of regional branches. These are the key reasons for this General Assembly.
From ENAM 2005-2007, it's a group of ENAM graduates from the various sections in ENAM, that is from the magistracy, registry, the finance section and administration.
With the aim of promoting solidarity between its members, this initiative also seeks to promote economic development while forwarding their modest contributions towards the development of the country. The President once more.
Nous sommes entrés à l'ENAM, nous sommes appelés à servir la nation, devrait donc faire le retour d'ascenseur à notre nation pour apporter sa modeste contribution.
With a 350 entry rate in January 2005, the number has declined today upon their graduation in 2007, following the passing away of some of their members, and as a core bent on serving the nation, the Vice President further discloses their services begin amongst them.
We have decided to create this our association to make sure we promote ourselves financially, to assist the members, to make sure we enhance our colleagues professionally, and also to accompany the states, because you know ENAM is an elitist institution in the country, and with the quality of graduates from ENAM, we have a big role to play to make sure we take Cameroon to the level that we, all of us, want Cameroon to be.
While concluding the hearings, members were also given the opportunity for proposals while stating their plights to make the country better tomorrow than it is today.
The paramount ruler of Koshin-Wum, His Royal Highness Joe Wilson, has been installed land conservator for Vuri. The installation ceremony equally took place over the weekend. Lasha Kingsley was present. His report.
His Royal Majesty Joe Wilson was installed into his functions over the weekend at the Bonanjo Party House during a ceremony attended by high-profile personalities, including traditional rulers from the northwest, west, southwest, and littoral regions of Cameroon. The paramount ruler of Koshin-Wum in Menchun Division, His Majesty Joe Wilson, thanked the head of states for appointing him as the land conservator for Wuri in the littoral region.
I'm so glad, I'm so honored, I'm so happy. I want to thank the head of state, through the Minister of Lands Tenure, so that we are so happy, and we think one thing like this are happening, especially to Menchun Division. In fact, we think this, this ahead will be very fine. I want to thank the head of state for the numerous efforts they have been putting in place to make sure that peace is in our country.
With numerous land title problems in Wuri, the new land conservator says he is ready to face the challenges to ensure that the population of Wuri lives in peace.
We know we have many challenges, but we pray that God Almighty, with our know-how, technical know-how put in place, and that we were taught in school and training in the school of administration, I want to promise the population that their numerous land problems will gradually come to an end. Prepare to make sure that the total peace and net peace return, and make sure that the land dispute in the Wuri division, especially in Wuri State, where I am having the competence, will finally stop and people will live happily.
He equally called on President Paul Biya to remember Menchum in the next ministerial appointment, which according to him is the only division without a minister. Traditional dance groups and masquerades of different types from Koshin-Lan graced the ceremony.
In church news, Catholic Christians of Holy Trinity Kwasi Parish, Wum in Menchum Division, Northwest Region, north of the country, celebrated yesterday as World Priest Day, extending hands of prayer to priests in thanksgiving as they lead their flocks. Christians were also encouraged to live as one and comfort the afflicted during times of pain and troubles. Charles Kewa reports from Bamenda.
Christians of the Holy Trinity Kwasi Parish, Wum Menchum Division of the Northwest Region, Sunday, October 25, 2020, celebrate the World Priest Day with special prayers for their priests.
We celebrate the World Day of the Priest, and so today we were privileged again to join with our other priests, not only from the Wum Tinari, we also had a priest right as far as from Bamenda Archdiocese, Father Charles Ngobi. So we're very happy today for that celebration. And so we worked together, we listened to the nice sermon that they gave to us, that this sermon was on love.
During Mass at Holy Trinity Kwasi Parish, officiated by the parish priest Reverend Father Paul Njokikang and Ngwabi Charles, reading from the Gospel of Matthew 22 verses 34 to 40, you shall love the Lord your God and your neighbors as yourself. The Catholic faithfuls in an assembly extend hand of prayers to their priest in thanksgiving for them to be filled with the Spirit of Jesus as they lead their flock with zeal and wisdom, asking them to give in their fullest in the priestly ministry.
For that they themselves pray for me and ask God to guide me to be able to help and lead them in the right path. So it was so fulfilling, and it actually gives me the new energy to work for the people without reservation, to be able to make them also know that I am there for them, and we do everything possible to draw them closer to God.
The Christians of the Holy Trinity Kwasi Parish Wum as well took firm commitments to serve others as inspired, preaching the word and encourage each other by word and deeds during this harvest season to work for the growth and the good of their quasi-parish.
I expect the Christians normally to improve and to change. Every time, like Christians, we are prone to make mistakes, like human beings we make mistakes actually, but then we always have the opportunity or second chance to make amends for our mistakes.
The Christians were challenged to welcome the stranger, empower the weak, provide for the poor, and comfort the afflicted as true disciples of Christ who loved unconditionally.
The Higher Institute of Business Management, Hipmat Douala, organized an orientation ceremony earlier today to welcome the 2020-2021 batch of students. The students resume studies today with strict respect of all anti-COVID-19 measures. Our reporter, Audrey Zata, was there. She presents the following.
Today, the 25th of October 2020, it's a very special day for us. For our new students, our first year students, it actually marks the beginning of a new life with new routines and, of course, a new way of thinking.
It is the opening speech that marked the launching of the Orientation Day, organized by the Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, Douala, this Monday, 26 October 2020, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, under the theme Success for this 2020-2021 academic year. The day kick-started with a holy mass to bless the students as they begin the academic year. The president of Hipmat, a fully accredited institution approved by the Ministry of Higher Education as part of Hipmat Boyer, gave his welcoming speech outlining the roadmap that is expected of the students. A minute of silence was equally observed for the victims of the 24th October 2020 massacre in Kumba. Speaking on our mic, Mr. Chikala put emphasis on the moral uprights of the students.
They have been well orientated. They have been made to understand that in Hipmat, our interest is not just at the level of educating them, empowering them academically, but they equally have to be morally upright. They have to be morally upright, they have to conduct themselves properly and responsibly as students of Hipmat. We have advised them very strongly. As a matter of fact, that particular point has been reiterated by myself, the president, the rector, the registrar, and every single administrative and support staff. They have been advised to stay away from the consumption of drugs and, of course, poor dressing.
Equally, a recognized private university institution, Hipmat, which offers quality education that inspires, in the course of this day observed the barrier measures put in place by the government against COVID-19. The rector tells us more.
We have the buckets, we have the water, we have the hand sanitizer. You will see all of them. We also have placards and notices that were placed so that people will see, and we keep talking to them. Dilusha B, a Hipmat student, gives the advantages of the institution.
I'm a Hipmat student, and I can say it's a very good school. They have good lecturers, and we are very comfortable here. And Hipmat offers the best education and makes us feel comfortable here. So
while the orientation day was today, the institution informs the public that admissions are still going on for this academic year 2020-2021.
Prime News ends a year. Faith Tataberunye coordinated the news produced by Ewane Ella Inolinga. My name is Genda Pelgin Blanche King. Thanks for joining us for today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Join us for the Tuesday edition tomorrow at 6:30 Cameroon time. God willing, stay tuned to My Media Prime at 7 p.m. Cameroon time. Kim Lunat will be here with Prime Art to talk about issues affecting the world, Cameroon and Africa. Stay safe. God bless Cameroon.